Welcome to our deep dive, everyone. We're going all in on SEO today.
SEO.
Yeah. It's one of those things that it's everywhere online, but a lot of people don't really know what it is or how it works.
Right.
So we're going to try to demystify all of that today.
Oh, yeah.
You guys gave us a ton of great stuff to work with for this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of SEO terms that you sent us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have this awesome interview with SEO expert Sandy Rowley.
She's great.
Oh, she is. I'm excited to get into her interview.
Yeah.
So I think this will be a really, really fun deep dive.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. So have you ever tried to find a good restaurant
Yeah.
in a new city
Uh-huh.
without using Yelp or Google Maps or anything?
Oh, yeah. It's impossible these days, right?
It's really hard. And that's kind of what it's like for websites when they're trying to get found online without SEO.
Yeah. SEO is like the map, right?
That is. It is.
Or the guide.
It's like, here's how you get found.
Yeah. Here's how to stand out.
Yeah.
When there's just millions of other websites.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So let's get into some of these terms that y'all sent. I was really intrigued by alt attribute. It sounds very technical, but it's actually it has to do with accessibility too, right?
Yeah. So it's a text description that you add to images on a website.
Okay.
And it tells search engines like Google what the image is all about.
Gotcha.
But it also helps people who are visually impaired who use screen readers. So it's a good example of how something that's good for SEO
Right.
is also usually just good for making the web a better place for everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Huh.
Okay. Another one that stood out to me was black hat versus white hat SEO.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one.
Sounds like a Western.
It does. Like a showdown.
Total showdown.
Yeah. So black hat is like the sneaky, unethical stuff. Like trying to trick search engines into ranking your site higher.
Oh.
Like keyword stuffing or
Right.
buying backlinks from shady websites.
Sneaky.
It can work in the short term, but it's risky. You can get penalized by Google and even get your site banned from search results.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No. So what's white hat then?
So white hat is the ethical approach.
Okay.
It's about creating high-quality content that people actually want to read, earning backlinks naturally, and just generally playing by the rules.
Okay, so it's more about the long game.
Yeah.
Building trust and authority over time.
Right, because Google can tell, right, if you're trying to, game the system versus actually, providing value.
Totally, yeah. Okay. This one, authority, I think, kind of plays into that too.
Yeah, authority is, how trustworthy a website seems to search engines.
Okay.
It's based on things like the quality of your content, how many other websites are linking to you, those backlinks,
Yeah.
and just your overall reputation online.
Gotcha. So it's like what you're saying matters, but also who's backing you up.
Yeah, who's vouching for you.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. This next one we can all relate to, bounce rate.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely bounced off of some websites.
I picture going into a store, taking one look around and walking right back out.
Yep. That's a bounce.
That's a bounce. So online, that means someone lands on your page and then they leave right away.
Right. Maybe they didn't find what they were looking for and
Yeah.
the website was just confusing or slow.
Yeah.
It could be all sorts of things.
So you want to keep that bounce rate low, right?
Yeah, I do.
To keep people engaged.
It's a sign that people are finding what they need on your site.
Yeah. Okay. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about Sandy Rowley,
Yes.
our SEO expert.
She's fantastic.
She had so many great things to say in her interview.
Yeah.
I was really intrigued by her take on keywords.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying that it's not just about targeting specific words,
Right.
but also about understanding what people are actually searching for, their intent.
Yeah. That's like being a detective almost.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what people are really looking for when they type something into Google.
Totally. Yeah.
What problems are they trying to solve? What questions do they have?
Yeah. Okay. So it's less about just stuffing your content with a bunch of keywords.
Right.
And more about really getting into the minds of your audience.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
She also talked a lot about how important it is to have high quality content.
Yes, she did.
She even said content is everything.
She's not wrong.
Yeah.
Content is the foundation of a good SEO strategy.
It's like the main ingredient in a recipe.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
You can have all the fancy spices and decorations, but if the main ingredient isn't good,
Yeah.
the whole dish is going to fall flat.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not just about churning out content for the sake of content. It
Right.
has to be like high quality, something that people actually want to read and engage with.
Exactly.
Okay. And then finally, she talked about link building and how it's not about like doing these shady link schemes.
Yeah. Yeah, forget about that.
Yeah. It's more about...
Where you get those spammy tactics.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more about like genuine connections and adding value.
Right. It's about creating content that other people genuinely want to link to.
Okay.
Like content that's so good they can't help but share it.
Yeah.
And that comes from, building relationships with other people in your industry, collaborating,
Yeah.
providing value to your audience.
So it's like real life networking.
It is, just like in the digital world.
Yeah. And that sounds like SEO is a lot more nuanced than people might think.
Definitely. It's not just about tricks and shortcuts. It's about understanding your audience, providing value, and building genuine connections.
This is so insightful. I think we should dig into some more of these SEO terms now.
Okay, let's do it.
And we'll see how they connect with all this awesome stuff that Sandy shared with us.
Sounds good to me. Okay, so you sent over a bunch of SEO definitions.
Yes, I did.
Should we dive into some more of those?
Yes, let's do it. I'm curious about this one. Canonical URL.
Ooh, canonical URL.
It sounds kind of like Star Trek-y.
It does. A little bit sci-fi.
Yeah.
But, so basically, it's the preferred version of a web page.
Okay.
Sometimes you might have the same content on multiple URLs.
Right.
Like maybe you have a blog post and it shows up on your main blog page.
Yeah.
But it also shows up in a category archive.
Right, right.
And that could be confusing for search engines.
Gotcha.
So the canonical URL tells search engines like, hey, this is the main version of this page.
Okay.
This is the one you should focus on.
So it's like saying, hey, Google, this is the original?
Exactly. So they don't dilute the ranking power across multiple pages.
Okay. That makes sense.
And it also helps avoid any duplicate content issues.
Right, right. And Sandy talked about that too, how duplicate content is not good.
It's a big no-no. Search engines want to provide diverse and valuable results.
Yeah.
And if they see the same content all over the place, it's hard to know which one is the best source.
Right.
The most authoritative one.
So it's not just about plagiarism then. It's about making sure each page on your website has something unique to offer.
Yeah, exactly. Which brings us back to high quality content, right?
Right. Right back to content is king.
Always.
Yeah.
Content is the heart and soul of a good SEO strategy.
Yeah, it's what makes people want to visit your website and actually stay there.
And come back again.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about algorithms. Sandy mentioned that too, and it feels like
algorithms.
It's kind of a mystery sometimes,
They are a bit of a black box, right?
Yeah. If you know how the algorithm thinks, then you can get your site to rank higher.
Yeah, but the problem is Google keeps the exact formula a secret.
Right.
But we do know that they're constantly evolving.
Okay.
Becoming more and more sophisticated at, understanding user intent and delivering relevant results.
So it's not just about following a set of rules then?
No. It's about staying ahead of the curve, adapting.
It's like being a surfer.
Ooh, I like that.
You got to ride the waves of the digital world.
Riding those algorithm waves.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. Okay, let's talk about analytics.
Yes, analytics.
It's like having this behind-the-scenes look at how your website's performing, right?
It is. It gives you so much data about how people are interacting with your site.
Yeah.
You can see how many visitors you're getting, where they're coming from, what pages they're looking at, what they're clicking on.
So you can see what's working, what's not.
Exactly. It's like having a personal trainer for your website.
I love that. And Sandy mentioned conversions too, right?
Yes.
How SEO isn't just about getting people to your site,
right,
but about getting them to actually do something.
Yeah. So a conversion is any action you want visitors to take.
Okay.
Like buying a product, signing up for your email list, downloading something.
So you're using SEO to guide them towards that goal.
Exactly. It's about getting the right people to take the right actions.
Okay. Are there any specific SEO tactics to help boost those conversions?
Oh, yeah, tons. Like making sure your website is easy to use,
Yeah.
that it's easy to navigate, that your calls to action are clear.
Okay.
That you're using visuals that are going to grab people's attention.
Yeah. So it's all about creating a good experience for the user.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The seamless, persuasive experience.
I love that. Okay, let's get a little bit more technical.
Okay.
I want to talk about some of the things that web developers actually do to make their websites more SEO friendly.
Ooh, yeah. We're getting into the back-end stuff now.
Yeah.
So we've got some terms on your list like CMS, CSS, and even the dreaded 404 error.
Okay.
These are like the building blocks of a website.
Let's break it down. What's a CMS?
So CMS stands for Content Management System.
Okay.
And it's basically a tool that lets you create and manage your website without needing to know how to code.
Okay.
So like WordPress is a popular CMS.
Yeah.
Drupal, Joomla. There's a bunch of them out there.
So it's like a website builder for people who aren't tech savvy.
Exactly. And a good CMS should be SEO friendly right out of the box.
Oh, okay. So it'll help you with things like URLs and meta descriptions.
Yeah. It'll make it easy to control those elements.
Awesome. Okay. What about CSS? That one sounds super technical.
Yeah, so CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets.
Okay.
And it's basically the code that determines how a website looks.
Okay.
Like the fonts, the colors, the layout, how it responds to different screen sizes.
So it's about making your website look good.
It's about more than just looks.
Okay.
So clean, efficient CSS can actually help your pages load faster,
Gotcha.
which is really good for user experience and for SEO.
Okay.
So it's like the difference between a cluttered, disorganized store
Mm-hmm.
and a sleek, well-designed boutique.
Yeah. You want to make people want to stay and browse.
Exactly. Okay, are you ready to talk about 404 errors?
Ugh. Yes. The dreaded page not found.
Everyone's seen that.
We've all been there. So frustrating.
So frustrating.
So what causes that, and how does it affect SEO?
So a 404 error happens when a page can't be found.
Okay.
Maybe there's a broken link
Mm-hmm.
or the content's been deleted.
Okay.
And it's bad for SEO because it signals to search engines that your site might be like poorly maintained or outdated.
Gotcha.
And it's also really frustrating for users.
Yeah, because you're like looking for something.
Yeah.
You click on it, and then it's like, nope, doesn't exist.
Dead end.
Total dead end. Okay,
Okay.
so it sounds like regular website maintenance is super important.
It is. You got to keep those broken links cleaned up.
Yeah, you don't want people like stumbling around on your website, not finding what they need.
You want it to be clean and inviting.
Totally. So it's cool how like even these technical elements of SEO, they still come back to creating a good experience for the user.
They really do. It all ties back to the human element.
It does. Okay, I think we have time for a few more of these definitions.
Let's do it. Let's keep digging.
Man, we have covered so much ground today.
We have. It's amazing how much there is to SEO, right?
It really is. And it's like, it can seem really intimidating at first, but when you break it down,
Yeah.
it's really all about like connecting with people and creating good content.
Right. Like at its core, that's what it's all about.
It is. I really loved what Sandy said about link building being like relationship building.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Oh.
That was a good one. It makes it seem so much less scary, right?
It does, because it's like instead of trying to like manipulate the system,
Yeah.
it's more about like how can I genuinely connect with people in my industry?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like share valuable information and build a community.
It's really cool. And it makes you realize that SEO isn't just about like pleasing the Google gods or whatever.
Right.
It's about like actually making a positive impact online.
Yeah, totally. It's about building those relationships just like you would offline.
Yeah. We do it all the time in our everyday lives.
Right. Like when you recommend a book to a friend or share an article that you think is really helpful, you're basically link building.
You are. Okay, so for anyone listening who's maybe feeling a little overwhelmed by all of this SEO stuff,
Yeah.
what would be like your one piece of advice to get started?
That's a good question. I would say focus on your audience.
Okay.
Like really think about who they are,
Mm-hmm.
what they're searching for, what problems they're trying to solve,
Yeah.
and how you can provide them with the information they need. And if you can do that, the SEO will follow.
It will,
There
because
you-
it all comes back to that, right?
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Understanding user intent,
Mm-hmm.
creating good content,
Yeah.
building those relationships. It all starts with your audience.
I love that. Okay, and I think it's important to remember, too, that SEO is always changing, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like a constantly moving target.
So you have to be willing to adapt and learn and,
Yeah.
keep up with the latest trends.
Stay curious. Experiment. Don't be afraid to try new things and see what works.
Yeah. Okay, before we wrap up, there's one more definition from the list I wanted to touch on. Breadcrumb.
Ooh, breadcrumb. Not the kind you put on your food, though.
No, not that kind of breadcrumb.
No.
In SEO, breadcrumb refers to those little navigational links that show you where you are on a website.
Right, like home, then an arrow, then about us, then an arrow, then, contact or whatever.
Yeah. It's like a trail to follow.
Exactly. And they might seem small, but they're actually really important for both SEO and user experience.
Because it helps people find their way around your site?
Yeah.
But it also helps search engines understand how your website is structured.
Exactly. Plus, they can actually help boost those click-through rates from search results.
Really?
Yeah, because people can see exactly where they're going on your site.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so breadcrumbs, simple but mighty.
Simple but mighty.
Oh, I like it.
We should make T-shirts.
Yes. Breadcrumbs, simple but mighty.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, well, I think that about wraps it up for our SEO deep dive.
Yeah. We covered a lot of ground.
We did. Hopefully everyone listening feels a little more confident in their SEO knowledge now.
Yeah, and remember, SEO is a journey, right?
It is.
So just keep learning, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep creating great content.
Yes. And next time you do a Google search, pay attention to why certain websites are showing up at the top. It's kind of like a little SEO treasure hunt.
I love that. What clues can you find about their SEO strategy?
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. Okay, well, that's it for today.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And until next time, keep those minds curious and those websites optimized.